Welcome to our channel, where history, mystery, and money meet in the palm of your hand. That there's one particular state quarter out there that collectors are chasing, and if you spot the rare version, you could be holding a coin that's worth thousands. That it's not just pocket change, it's a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Imagine you're sifting through your change, maybe at a gas station, a vending machine, or cleaning out the junk drawer in your kitchen. You spot a quarter. Nothing special, right? Just 25 cents. But what if I told you that this very coin, this exact type of quarter, could be worth thousands of dollars? Stick with me, because this little piece of metal has a story, and a surprise, that might just blow your mind. Now, we're not talking about some ancient Roman coin buried in the sands of time. Nope. This one's from right here in the United States, and not even that old. In fact, it was minted just a few years ago, in 2015. It's called the Homestead Quarter, and while most people would overlook it without a second glance, some versions of this coin have made everyday people into sudden collectors, and in a few cases, unexpectedly wealthy. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter. But flip it over and there's something different. There's a rustic cabin nestled in the middle of the design. On either side, two tall ears of corn reach upward, and in front of it all stands a sturdy water pump, simple, but rich with meaning. It's not just decoration. These elements were chosen with care to represent the heart of the American homesteading spirit: food, water, shelter. The things pioneers depended on as they staked their claim on the American frontier. Here's the twist: this coin commemorates one of the most important laws in U.S. history, the Homestead Act of 1862. That act allowed ordinary Americans, many of them poor, immigrants, or just looking for a fresh start, to claim land, build a home, and carve out a future. It was a turning point in American history. And the U.S. Mint decided to honor that legacy with this unique and powerful coin. Now, millions of homestead quarters were made. You're probably thinking, if there are so many, how could it be valuable? And that's a great question. Because here's where things get interesting. Not all homestead quarters are equal. Some have slight differences. Some have minting mistakes. And some were part of special proof sets that never even entered regular circulation. These rare variations, they're the ones that have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. I'm talking thousands of dollars. Stick with me, because the more you understand how this works, the more you'll realize just how possible it is to find one of these for yourself. There have been reports of people stumbling across them at flea markets, yard sales, or just tucked away in their own pocket change. One person even found a rare version inside a roll of quarters from the bank. Think about that. A small oversight at a minting facility becomes a big opportunity for someone lucky, and observant, enough to notice. Now let's talk specifics, without giving everything away. There are homestead quarters out there with subtle errors. Some have what's known as a double die, a sort of ghost image where the design appears twice, slightly offset. Others have missing layers of metal, giving the coin an unusual color and texture. Then there are ultra-high-grade examples, coins that are nearly flawless, straight from the mint and never touched by human hands. These are the ones that get submitted to grading services, sealed in protective cases, and sometimes sell for enough to pay for a car, a vacation, or even a big chunk of your mortgage. Here's the thing: you don't have to be a professional coin collector to find one. You don't need fancy tools or an expert's eye. You just need to look a little closer. A flashlight, a magnifying glass, maybe a little curiosity, that's all it takes. You might already have one sitting in a drawer, a piggy bank, or an old coin jar you haven't touched in years, and let's not forget, even if you don't find one worth thousands, you're holding a piece of American history in your hand. That alone is something special. This quarter is more than money. It's a miniature monument to the people who built homes on open land, who faced brutal winters and harsh terrain, and who believed in the promise of something better. That story is stamped into every homestead quarter ever made. But if you do happen to find one of the rare ones, well, let's just say your coin collection might suddenly become the most valuable thing you own. And who knows? That tiny 25-cent coin could be the first step on a path to something bigger, maybe a new hobby, maybe a windfall, maybe even a ticket to a whole new lifestyle. So before you toss that quarter into the tip jar or drop it in the parking meter, take a second. Turn it over. Look closely. Because you might just be holding a treasure that most people never even notice. The Homestead Quarter is still out there. It's real. It's rare. And it's changing the lives of the lucky few who discover what they have, and the best part? It could happen to you. Just one coin. Just one moment of curiosity. That's all it takes. Stick around, because in upcoming coins, we'll dive deeper into what to look for, how to spot minting errors, and how to tell if the coin in your hand is one of those elusive, life-changing pieces. For now, start checking your pockets. That 25 cents might just be worth more than you ever imagined. Next up, a coin you've probably seen 100 times. Maybe it passed through your hands at a coffee shop. Maybe it sat unnoticed in a parking meter, or got lost between your car seat cushions. But what if I told you that this one specific quarter, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, could be worth not just a few bucks, not even a few hundred, but tens of thousands of dollars? Stick with me, because this coin is not what it seems. And if you happen to spot the tiny detail that sets it apart, your ordinary change could become something truly extraordinary. Let's rewind for a moment. The year was 2008. The U.S. Mint was deep into one of its most ambitious programs ever, the 50 State Quarters Initiative. Every state in the nation would get its own custom-designed quarter, released over a 10-year span. It was more than just a series of coins, it was a celebration of America's diversity, geography, culture, and history, all captured in miniature artworks the size of your thumb. Arizona's turn came that year, and the design was nothing short of iconic. The coin features the immense grandeur of the Grand Canyon, its layered rock cliffs carved over millions of years by wind and water. In the foreground, standing tall with unmistakable presence, is the saguaro cactus, an enduring symbol of the Southwest. To the casual eye, it's just a nice design. But look deeper, and this coin becomes a powerful tribute to Arizona's natural legacy, a place where desert meets stone, where time itself seems to stand still. Now here's where it gets interesting. Millions of Arizona quarters were minted and sent into circulation. You might think that makes them all common, right? But hidden among them are a few very special pieces. Quarters with a mistake. A tiny, almost invisible imperfection. A minting error that never should have happened, but did. These are known as the extra cactus leaf quarters. Let me explain. During the minting process, the dies, basically large metal stamps, wear down over time. Sometimes, tiny pieces chip off. When this happens, metal can build up in areas of the design, forming raised blobs or shapes that were never intended to be there. In the case of this Arizona quarter, a die chip formed what looks like an extra cactus leaf at the base of the saguaro. It's subtle. It doesn't scream at you. But for those who know what to look for, it's a sign of something incredibly rare, and this is where things start to shift from ordinary to unbelievable, because while most people never notice this error, collectors are hunting for it. This variation is not just rare, it's visually distinct, hard to find, and in some cases, has been preserved in such perfect condition that it commands serious attention. We're talking about a simple 25-cent piece that suddenly becomes one of the most sought-after state quarters in the entire program. Now let's add another layer to this story. Imagine someone, just like you, casually glancing at their pocket change and spotting that extra leaf. They might not even believe what they're seeing at first. But upon closer inspection, they realize, it's real. They're holding a piece of minting history, one of only a handful of known examples. A coin that few people have seen with their own eyes. A coin that could be worth not just something, but something significant. Let's also talk about condition. The numismatic world, coin collecting, in other words, places massive importance on a coin's condition. If it's clean, untouched, still sharp in its detail, free from scratches or wear, its value increases dramatically. Now, imagine finding one of these error quarters in pristine, uncirculated condition. You've just gone from finding a rare coin, to finding a small fortune, and here's the kicker, these coins are still out there. This isn't some museum-held artifact or a coin you have to bid on at a high-end auction house. You don't need a vault or a private collector connection. You might already have one. It could be in your old change jar. In your kid's piggy bank. It could be in a coin roll from the bank, or stuck between the couch cushions. That's what makes this so exciting. The treasure hunt is very real, and absolutely anyone could stumble upon one. So what should you look for? Next time you find an Arizona quarter, flip it over and examine the cactus. Look closely at the lower left portion of the cactus trunk, just above the initials. If there's something odd there, what looks like a little extra paddle or leaf that doesn't belong, don't ignore it. You might be staring at a rare and valuable piece of American coinage. People spend years searching for valuable coins. Some scour estate sales, metal detect in fields, or invest in old collections hoping to strike gold. But with this quarter, you don't have to dig through history. It's right here, part of the modern world, mingling with your everyday life. You just have to notice it. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much is this coin actually worth? If you have a 2008 Arizona state quarter with the rare, extra leaf, mint error, especially one in excellent condition, its value can reach up to $44,000. Let that sink in. A single quarter. A piece of everyday change. A coin that could easily be overlooked, dismissed, or spent without a thought, yet it holds the potential to be worth more than most people earn in a year. That's the beauty of coin collecting. That's the magic of minting errors. That's the thrill of discovery. So here's what I want you to do. After this video, go check your change. Look in old drawers, under the couch, in the center console of your car. You never know. The next coin you pick up could be your lucky one. The one with a hidden flaw. The one with a hidden fortune. Next up, and our final coin in today's lineup, is one that might already be closer than you think. It's not flashy. It doesn't glitter in a special metal or shout its rarity. In fact, most people wouldn't even give it a second glance. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Because this one small coin has surprised collectors again and again, hiding a value that far outweighs its humble 25-cent face. This is the 2001 North Carolina State Quarter. And by the end of this video, you'll know why this coin, out of millions, is worth searching for, and how some lucky finds have turned ordinary people into serious winners. Let's rewind briefly to the early 2000s. The U.S. Mint's 50 state quarters program had become more than just a government-issued initiative. It had grown into a cultural moment. Schools used the quarters to teach history, families collected them together, and banks started running out of rolls as people scrambled to find each new release. Every few months, another state would take the spotlight, and in 2001, it was North Carolina's turn. Instead of using symbols like eagles or outlines of the state, the Mint chose to honor a moment that changed the world forever: the first powered flight by the Wright brothers. The coin's design captures a sleek and simple image: the Wright flyer lifting into the sky above the sand dunes of Kitty Hawk, with one of the brothers running alongside. The words "First Flight" are inscribed above the aircraft, with the name of the state and the year placed prominently above and below. It's a clean, classic design that pays tribute to an American milestone, but for collectors, the real story of this coin isn't just in the flight. It's in the flaw, because while this coin was made in the millions, only a small number came out with a minting mistake, an unexpected error that took something so ordinary and transformed it into something truly valuable. These errors were not intentional. They weren't part of any limited edition. They were accidents. But that's exactly what makes them so rare. One particular error stands out: the struck-through grease error. This happens when a thick layer of grease or debris blocks part of the coin die during the striking process. As a result, the coin is imprinted without full clarity. Sometimes whole words appear faded or completely missing. In many versions of the error seen on the North Carolina quarter, parts of the word "liberty" are weak or absent. The plane itself may look soft in detail. The background might appear hazy or undefined. These subtle flaws may not catch the eye of someone just trying to make a purchase. But to the trained collector, they are instantly recognizable. And once spotted, they elevate the coin's value dramatically. That's not the only rarity surrounding this coin. Proof versions, those made with special care and sharp details for collectors, were also released in lower numbers. These proof coins, especially when made of silver or preserved in uncirculated condition, can already be worth more than face value on their own. But combine that quality with a minting error, and the value climbs even higher. Now imagine this. You're going through a drawer in your house, maybe sorting old change from a jar you haven't touched in years. You come across a shiny quarter from 2001. At first, it looks just like any other. But then you flip it over. Something looks odd. The plane's wing seems off. A letter looks faint, like it never fully pressed into the metal. You start to wonder, could this be one of the rare ones? Could this be the coin that changes everything? This kind of discovery isn't just wishful thinking. It's happened before. Sometimes by chance. Sometimes during a late-night change sort. And sometimes when someone least expects it. That's what makes this coin so exciting. It's still out there. It hasn't been completely scooped up by collectors. It could be waiting in a roll from the bank or mixed in with your loose coins from the grocery store. It's not just the error that matters either. The condition of the coin is critical. Coins that have never been in circulation, or that show no signs of wear, are graded more highly. The sharper the strike, the cleaner the surface, the more appealing the coin is to serious collectors. If the error is present and the coin is nearly flawless, that's when it becomes something truly exceptional. Some people spend years building coin collections, searching through thousands of pieces to find just one with the right markings, the right imperfections, the right condition. The 2001 North Carolina quarter offers one of the best chances to find such a coin in the wild. It's modern enough to still be circulating. It's valuable enough to change your perspective on what you thought was just spare change. This coin, this ordinary-looking piece of metal, represents a moment in time that changed the world. And in rare cases, it also represents a financial surprise that can take your breath away. So here's the part you've been waiting for. How much is one of these rare 2001 North Carolina state quarters actually worth? If you have a version of this coin that includes a mint error, especially a struck-through design, and it's in mint condition or better, its value can climb well beyond what most people would ever imagine for a state quarter. Some of these coins have been valued at up to $53,000, yes, $53,000. From a single quarter. 25 cents that no one thought twice about, until someone looked just a little closer. So the next time you're sorting through your change, or you spot an older quarter in your hand, don't dismiss it. Flip it. Examine it. Look for those subtle differences. Because hidden within the coins we pass around every day, there are stories, there are mistakes, and sometimes, there is real value.